chukua vitambulisho, waingia zote, zimefungwa sasa, angalisho. Hukumu inakuja, enyi wakaaji wa dunia hii, muwe tayari. Chukua vitambulisho, waingia zote, zimefungwa sasa, angalisho. Ewe Mkristo, kitambulisho chako, ewe mwanadamu, ni Bwana Yesu. Chukue nafasi zote, kwenda kuhudumu. Ewe Mkristo, kitambulisho chako, ewe mwanadamu, ni Bwana Yesu. Chukue nafasi zote, kwenda kuhudumu. Sikia ndugu yangu, afikapo Yesu atawatambua walio wake. Haleluya. Wengi watamfanana mwisho wa dunia, Roho Mtakatifu atawatambulisha. Sikia ndugu yangu, afikapo Yesu atawatambua walio wake. Watamfanana wa mwisho wa dunia, Roho Mtakatifu atawatambulisha. Mkristo, kitambulisho chako, ewe mwanadamu, ni Bwana Yesu. Chukue nafasi zote, uwe na Mungu. Mkristo, kitambulisho chako, ewe mwanadamu, ni Bwana Yesu. Chukue nafasi zote, uwe na Mungu. Yes, Lord. Hallelujah. Pote uendapo, iwe hatarini, hata furani, tuvae Kristo. Usemi wako ndugu na mwenendo wako kwenye mataifa wakutambue. Pote tuendapo, iwe hatarini, hata furani, tuvae Kristo. Yes, Lord. Usemi wako ndugu na mwenendo wako kwenye mataifa wakutambue. Mkristo, kitambulisho chako, ewe mwanadamu, ni Bwana Yesu. Chukue nafasi zote, uwe na Mungu. Mkristo, kitambulisho chako, ewe mwanadamu, ni Bwana Yesu. Chukue nafasi zote, uwe na Mungu. Chukua vitambulisho, waingia zote, zimefungwa sasa, angalisho. Hukumu inakuja, enyi wakaaji wa dunia hii, muwe tayari. Chukua vitambulisho, waingia zote, zimefungwa sasa, angalisho. Ewe Mkristo, kitambulisho chako, ewe mwanadamu, ni Bwana Yesu. Chukue nafasi zote, kwenda kwa Mungu. Mkristo, kitambulisho chako, ewe mwanadamu, ni Bwana Yesu. Chukue nafasi zote, kwenda kwa Mungu. Sikia ndugu yangu, afikapo Yesu atawatambua walio wake. Haleluya. Wengi watamfanana mwisho wa dunia,
Hallelujah.
Pote uendako iwe hatarini, hata furani tuvae Kristo. Usemi wako ndugu na mwenendo wako kwenye mataifa wakutambue. Pote tuendapo iwe hatarini, hata furani tuvae Kristo.
Yes, Lord. Hapo.
Usemi wako ndugu na mwenendo wako kwenye mataifa wakutambue. Ewe Mkristo, kitambulisho chako, ewe mwanadamu ni Bwana Yesu, tuwe nafasi zote uwe na Mungu. Mkristo, kitambulisho chako, ewe mwanadamu ni Bwana Yesu, tuwe nafasi zote uwe na Mungu.
Yes, hapo. Sasa.
Hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah. That's powerful. Haria Yesu ali maundu mathiaga wega. Haria Yesu ali maundu mathiaga wega. Imate kuhingicana. Haria Yesu ali maundu mathiaga wega. Haria Yesu ali maundu mathiaga wega. Imate kuhingicana. Andu aria athingu na horerie, me ngoro njega ciũire tha, nĩmĩ ciao itarĩ njambanio ta kĩmaigua ũrĩa marathimĩtwo nĩ Roho wa mahana riũa rĩkĩratha, rĩrathaga ndume gathira, andũ othe makarĩkenera. Ũthingu ũhana ta itu rĩrĩ na mbura, rĩarĩkia kura na warĩama rĩũthũ na ũthingu na nĩmathũire oro wa ma, roigire metagwo ithukĩ na mĩtĩ mĩũmũ, nyingĩ metagwo mĩigua, na nĩ marima ũgĩ wothe wa ngoro ciao, meninaga naguo magakua, meciria mao magathũka o ta manyamũ. Ũthingu nĩ ũthamaki wa kwĩhokeka. Haleluya, haleluya. Ona niĩ no nyende gũciara mwana, na mwana wakwa atuĩke mũheshimiwa, no nĩ ndarega kwandĩkaga marũa ndenda kũmwona. Ona niĩ no nyende gũciara mwana, na mwana wakwa atuĩke mũheshimiwa, no nĩ ndarega kwandĩkaga marũa ndenda kũmwona. Tumwimbieni Bwana wimbo ule mpya, kwa maana ametenda mambo ya ajabu. Tumwimbieni Bwana wimbo ule mpya, kwa maana ametenda mambo ya ajabu. Tumwimbie Yesu wimbo ule mpya, kwa maana ametenda mambo ya ajabu. Tumwimbie Bwana wimbo ule mpya, kwa maana ametenda mambo ya ajabu. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Welcome brothers and sisters, brethren, once again to our sanctuary, so that we can share the word of God together. I'm excited to be in the house of God. We're going to have a good time. First of all, I would like to pass my condolences to our brothers in Tanzania for losing their beloved president, John Magufuli, Joseph. John Magufuli. He was outstanding. He was outstanding president. Everybody is mourning. I know we are mourning too as your brothers, our neighboring country in Kenya. We are mourning. Yeah. John Pombe Joseph Magufuli was outstanding president. He was loved all over the world. I would like you to know that we are with you. I'm with you spiritually in prayers, and I'm praying for you as you continue to mourn for you are a great leader. I would also like to pass condolences for the friends and family, for those who have lost their loved ones throughout the country because of shootings which has been going on in the country. We have lost lives, and I'm praying for peace and calm and harmony for our country. All this is instigated by Lucifer. That's why we need to keep our eyes focused to Jesus Christ, because as a Christians, that's where our protection comes and that's where our help comes. So we should always keep our eyes focused to Jesus Christ. Welcome. Today, this evening, I'm going to speak about a man of God in the Bible who is very fascinating. And before, he used to be called Paul. Paul used to be a very bad person. He used to persecute Christians. He was hired by Jews or Sadducees and Pharisees who hated the teaching and the gospel of Jesus Christ. He was given instruction wherever he sees Christian gathering to maim them and kill them. So that's what he used to do for his living. He used to go around and look for Christians, and wherever he would see them, he would kill them. So he was a very evil person. His name was Saul. So he used to go around and kill Christians. Wherever he see them worshiping, he would surround them with his soldiers, and they would kill all the Christians. So we should thank God for the freedom of worship which we enjoy today, because so many people have shed blood and died for this gospel which we enjoy today. Even Jesus Christ died and was crucified because of this gospel. Even all the apostles of Jesus Christ, except John, who died at an old age, they were all crucified. So we should not take gospel for granted. So many people have shed their blood and died for this gospel. So we need to take gospel seriously. And we need to designate one day in a week to worship and fellowship and thank God for the gift of life and all the blessings which He has blessed us with. So, because life in this world is very temporary, we are here for a season. Tomorrow is not promised, but where we are going to live there forever, and there will be no sorrow, no sickness. So that's where we need to put our focus. Yeah, because this world is temporary. But it's okay to have enjoyable life on this world. Nothing wrong with that. But we should not be very comfortable, because this world is temporary and we are on the journey. We are here for a season. But what matters is the legacy which we are going to leave behind. And how many people we are going to take to heaven when we leave this world? Our aim is to save souls, Thank you. Saul used to kill and persecute, used to execute Christians. And one day when he was heading to Damascus to fulfill his mission of persecuting Christians, he was hit by lightning and he became blind. And he became blind for several days. He could not see. And he cried to God. He cried to God and asked God to forgive him his sin. And God, because He is merciful, He forgave Saul. And He returned sight to Saul. And Saul was able to see again. He became enlightened and changed his life and became a Christian and started following the teaching of Jesus Christ. And he became a good person and stopped persecuting Christians. And he started evangelizing. In Middle East and that region, and he worked very hard. Actually, he outshined even the apostles of Jesus Christ. He worked very hard. And because of that, it did not go very well with the Sadducees and Pharisees. They did not like Paul because he was kind of interfering with their teaching. Because as Jesus was teaching, you know, the Pharisees, they used to follow the law of Moses, an eye for an eye, no forgiveness. They used to say, to teach revenge. But when Jesus came, taught people to forgive each other and to love each other and to forgive and forget. So it did not go very well, and mostly Pharisees, most Pharisees and Sadducees, they were using church to enrich themselves and for fame. They would sometimes the Pharisees, they would go to the open market and they would pray long prayers, wearing long robes, beautiful robes, to get recognition from the multitude. And Jesus criticized them. And Jesus told them they look like a cup which is clean outside, but inside is filled of filth. So Jesus criticized them because He was God. He was able to see their heart was fake. So it did not go very well, and that's why they conspired to put Paul and all the followers of Jesus Christ in jail and to kill them and to stop the spread of gospel of Jesus Christ, because the doctrine of Jesus Christ was going contrary to their doctrine. So Paul when he was enlightened, he started preaching, and he preached so powerfully. And those people who are opposing Jesus Christ, they conspired to put Paul in problem. And they charged him to the Romans, because those days Rome used to colonize the whole of Middle East, Eastern, Northern Europe, Northern Africa, Asia, and most part of the world. Rome was a superpower. Those days, it was like America, it was a superpower. Or Great Britain, or Germany some years back. So, Rome was a superpower. And they charged, they took him to the governor, and they charged Paul with allegation of sabotage, he overthrowing the government. He was conspiring to overthrow the government, And that was a very serious offense, so it could not be handled in Israel. So Paul, together with the 276 prisoners, they had to be taken to Rome to face judgment. So they were put in the ship. Paul, together with the 276 prisoners, they were driven to Rome. And as they were traveling to Rome, and as they were sailing to Rome to go get face judgment, they encountered a very strong storm in the sea, and their ship almost capsized, but they managed to make it to an island called Malta Island. And when they made it to Malta, and they were saved. All of them who were on board were saved, made it to Malta Island. And the people in Malta Island welcomed them. They were wet, they were hungry. And the people in Malta gathered wood. They gathered wood to put fire so that they can get warm. And as they were putting fire, there emerged a big snake. There emerged a big snake from the wood. And the snake was a viper. The viper bite Paul. He bite Paul on his arm. And he stuck on his arm. He was hanging like this. And people were shocking. They were saying, hey, what's wrong with this guy? What's wrong with this guy? This guy had a big problem in the sea. He's wet. He almost died in the sea. And now we come over here. We try to make him warm. And then the snake comes from the wood. And the snake bite his arm. He might be demon possessed. And then the people, they were looking, waiting for him to collapse and wither and die. They waited for some time, but Paul did not change, did not wither, nothing. Paul stayed strong. And in fact, they put the fire on, he warmed up, then he went to relax in the cave. There was a cave nearby, because those days people used to stay in the cave. Some people used to stay in the cave. He went to relax in the cave. People were shocked, man. They were saying, is this God or what? They were saying now he's demon possessed before. Now they are saying he's like God. They say this is truly a man of God. As he was relaxing in the cave, the news spread in the whole region of Malta Island. And it reached to a guy called Publius. And he went in the cave where Paul was, and he invited him to come to his house for dinner. And Paul, in the evening, he went to dine with the Publius. And there was a lot of meal there, good food was there, drinks. And as they were eating, so Paul could hear somebody back in the other room screaming because of pain, yelling because of pain. Well, he had a bad fever, very severe fever. He was dehydrated and so many infections. And Paul asked Publius, who is this man screaming back there in the room? And Publius told Paul, the man who is screaming is my father. He was Publius' father. And Paul was filled with compassion. And he woke up and went and laid hands. He laid a hand on his face. He prayed for the ailing man, and the man was healed completely. And remember, the hand which was beaten by the snake is the one who brought the healing to the dying man. I repeat, the hand which was bitten by a snake is the same hand which brought the healing to the dying man. So, what does this story teach us? And that man, the record goes to say, he became the first bishop of Malta. It's in the record. What does this story tell us? It tells us sometimes you might see things they are not working good. Some things they have to happen. They have to happen no matter what. There are some things they have to happen in life. You might think they are bad, but they are coming to glorify you and to glorify God. There are things, no matter what you do, they will happen. And when they happen, people, they will start, bad things happen, people, they will start belittling you, people, they will start talking bad about you, they will start talking all that kind of bad things about you. But it's just a matter of time. When God starts glorifying himself through you, then they will say, surely you are a son or a daughter of God. So, I will encourage my fellow listeners, don't be discouraged because of what people are saying. Always keep your eyes focused to Jesus Christ of Nazareth, because that is where the true happiness comes from. That's where, as a Christians, that's where our helps come from. I repeat, keep your eyes focused to Jesus Christ, because that's where our helps come from. When you fall in a pit, the way you are going to react when you fall in a pit will determine how quickly you will come out of that pit. So when you fall in a pit, always keep your eyes focused to Jesus Christ. Remember Daniel, Cyrus, and Abednego. They were put in a den. Daniel was put in a den, and God rescued him. God rescued him. So always keep your eyes in your Creator. Keep your eyes focused in Jesus Christ, and everything will be alright. So don't be discouraged because of the people, because people, they will praise you today and tomorrow they will curse you. Remember, when Jesus Christ was going to Jerusalem, people were laying fig tree. They were leaves on the road for him to walk as a king, and they were singing Hosanna, Hosanna, the Son of the Most High. But after a few days, they were looking for him to crucify him. So people, they are slippery character. But your true happiness and your help will come from Jesus Christ. Thank you very much, my listeners. I would like you to keep those words, and may God keep you, may God protect you until we meet again. Thank you very much for your time you are taking to listen to this video.
Thank you very much for listening. Have a wonderful week. Until we meet again next Sunday.
Weather.
Thank you.
I'm just
Thank you
relaxing
very
here.
much.
I'm enjoying